Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the online orientation on the Urban Fellowship Program. Here we have Simranjit Kaur, so research scholar at Jamia Millia Islamia, and she also had experience of being spending a year as a urban fellow at Indian for Human Settlement IIHS at Bangalore. Hi Simran, welcome you. We'll proceed with the presentation. Then those who are watching in YouTube as well as those who are in meeting can pose the questions after the presentation. And meanwhile, you can, if you have any doubt while she's presenting. Yeah, Simran, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Okay, okay. So, just one question, people here, are comfortable me speaking in English or I should speak in Hindi? Like, I can speak both.
Yeah,
So, what,
English would
how
be
should,
better, I guess. Yeah, we make content in English for Revamp YouTube.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So thank you, Elaya, for organizing this. I would like to start this presentation with giving a little bit of introduction about what the Institute IHS is all about and what kind of work they are dealing with and what is the major idea behind this urban fellow program. Okay, so first thing I would like to highlight here is that the one of the major motivation behind establishing this institution as well as bringing this fellowship, which is called as urban fellowship program, is basically about how we are seeing that in especially the global south there is a wave of urbanization. Like there are lot of people who are migrating from villages towards the urban, and with this we are finding that there are a lot of dangers as well as problems which really need some sort of people who has this expertise to deal with and provide some insights and contribute in this field. So this is the one of the major idea behind this urban fellow program. They literally want a generation to be know about what kind of challenges we will face as a society, because how there is a urban transition we are facing. Okay, so this is what IHS is all about. So when I specifically talk about urban fellowship, okay, so the main idea is that they usually say that whenever we try to understand or whenever we try to read about urban, we can't read or study it in an isolation, which we usually see. Like we usually see that there is a dichotomy between social sciences and the science, but when comes to the urban, what IHS believes it's that we need to have different lenses. We can't just study urban through a political science lens. We need economist lens, then we as well as we need planning and architects. So it's a intervention through different direction. So then only we'll be able to understand different layers of the urban, and that's how we'll be able to tackle the kind of problems we are facing right now, and we'll be able to look for larger actions in the future to contribute in this field. Okay, so this is some sort of introduction. So if I will tell you before presenting this form which you are able to see on the screen, I will just share about the kind of structure this fellowship is about. Okay, so basically this fellowship is divided into three major elements, or you can say three different parts or phases. Okay, so first is that it's related to the commons. Okay, so as I have already mentioned that these people believe that whenever we are unpacking the urban, we need to have some sort of a interdisciplinarity in it. So it's obvious that the kind of teaching they are going to involve into will also be in a disciplinary manner. Okay, so there is a first phase of this fellowship, that is the commons. So in commons, as you can see that there will be lot of diversity even in the class. You'll find people who are doing medicine, then you'll find engineers, then you'll find architects, then you'll find people like me who are totally into political studies. Okay, so for them, they want to bring them on a certain equal level. Okay, equal level playing field. For that, they have a common term which will basically help you to catch a vocabulary to interpret the field. Okay, and that will include different things like urban economy, identity and social practice, then urban ecology, then it will also include the governance aspect, and certainly it will also include the built environment as well as the infrastructure. So this is about the commons. Okay, and simultaneously there you will have some thing called as practica. In practica, you will have to uh, whatever you are learning in the classroom, you have to transit into the field. It is basically more about the action oriented. Whatever you are simultaneously understanding in the commons term, they will give you a place where you can just go into the sites and you can just relate the facts, like look, here I'm able to see the planning aspect, here I'm able to see the infrastructure, urban economy and identity. Then comes the second term, which is about the electives. And elective is like now in the 3 months of teaching, so people usually gets a sense of a common vocabulary. It doesn't matter from where your educational background is. If even if you are an economist, you will get a sense of how society work, and even if you are a social scientist, you will get a little bit sense, or I will say the vocabulary, how planning works. Okay, so now in the elective terms, it will be your choice what kind of areas you are finding interested. So now these people will tell you, they will offer you a certain theme or list of papers. So in this you have to just make a choices, and you'll have to choose your elective as per your own interest, whatever suits you. And the third and the last term or the phase of this internship or a fellowship program is that it will be basically about uh, compilation of everything. So here you will have internships. Okay, so one uh, side you can go after this fellowship is that you can take internship. So for this, organization lists various call for candidates, and they set up your interviews, and then you just make choices, top 6 choices, whatever organization you want to get into. So this is the one part. And the second part is that if suppose you are more interested into research. Okay, like me, I am doing an independent project. So independent project is for those people who have certain level of idea in their mind, like they want to work on a specific theme. So they are thinking that it would be more better for them to work independently. But for them, you have to talk to the faculty, you have to pitch your idea, like look, this is the idea I want to work upon, and if the supervisor or the faculty agrees, then he or she will supervise you, and that ultimately will be called as an independent project. And the third option in the last phase of this program is that you will get an opportunity to work with IIHS. Okay, because IIHS is a research institute. They are working very hard in the field of policy. So they are doing a lot of research, and for that they need people as a research assistant. So even you can opt for that also. So these are the three options which at the last and the third part of this fellowship program you will have to make choices. Okay, so this is a very minute, very crisp uh, idea what this fellowship is structured in a way. Okay, so I will not go into deeper for this. I would strongly suggest that you should visit their official website, as well as they are very much active on Instagram, as well as they have a YouTube channel called IIHS.in. So you people can just have a look at it, and you can just see what kind of work they are really going through, and what kind of fields they are interested into. So for the larger perspective, to get an idea the what kind of research they are doing, it's more better for you people to just have a look. And these clips are not much bigger, these are hardly 5 to 6 minutes short clips, and you'll be able to get a better sense of what kind of a research they are going through. And through this you can get an idea like how you have to try to write these answers. Okay, so after giving this brief introduction about the work, the structure of IHS, and what is the motive behind this fellowship, I just want to bring your attention towards this paper. You can see, so this is a PDF version, I would say. I have just copy pasted it for my ease, because it's comfortable for me to do from here rather than this live website. So if you will open the official website, it will look very different than this what this page is looking. So you'll find that it consists around 4 steps. Okay, so first step will be very easy. It will be related to your personal details, where you'll have to just fill in about very basic address and all these things. And the second one will be about the educational qualification, and in that you'll just have to mention about how is it a bachelor, masters, and whatever level of education you have done. And the third is about your volunteering work, your internship, and the work experience. For this step I will just get back to you, but the most important part of your application to be succeeded in this structure is about your personal statements and the essays. Okay, so this is going to be the turning factor whether you are going to get into this program or not. Okay, so one by one I would just try to give you a site. Like usually people get stuck to the level is that how we should try to answer, how we should write our application, as well as when it comes to some application like this essays based and statement based application. Okay, so you can see that all 3 questions are mandatory. Okay, so you have to write them, and you can also see that the first question. So now I'm going into deeper one by one what this question is asking, and what could be the better way to for you to answer this question. Okay, so the first question talks about, please tell us why would you like to be an urban fellow. In your response, try and reflect on your motivation to apply, why the urban fellow a fellowship program, which part of the curriculum you find interesting, and why, and how they would help you in path. Okay, so the one of the best way to answer these kinds of application is that first we'll have to understand what the question is asking. And the very first step is that you should deconstruct this question. And when I'm saying the deconstruction of this question is that you have to look at what part it includes. So you can very easily see that there are basically 3 parts which is reflecting here in the question which they are asking from you to answer. Okay, and you have to keep in mind the word limit, and that is very much less, and it's just 300 word. Okay, so the very first question they have asked is that why you want to be an urban fellow. Okay, so here you have to tell about what kind of a motivations you have. Like certainly if you are applying to any organization or any sort of institution, there has to have some kind of a motivation behind it. Okay, so what can I tell you on this is that there are, for but I feel that 3 ways through which you can answer all these questions. So first way is that, suppose I have read something, and I read some book, I read some article, I maybe attended certain talk, and through that talk I got that okay, this can be a certain area of interest, this is something which is interesting me. And that is how you can just tell them, look, this is the idea which I am dealing with, I have been reading, I have been trying to locate. So this could be a one reason, okay. And the second could be a very normal, very obvious reason, is that maybe your academic requirement. Suppose if I talk about my way of answering this question, so my way of answering this question was like that, I am a PhD candidate, okay, and all through my education have been through in the field of political science only, okay. But the problem which I was facing is that what topic was interesting me, it was related to the urban, and I felt that I certainly lack on the tools for the interpretation of the fields. Okay, so I felt that I lacked that vocabulary through which I can understand the layers of the urban. So I wrote this like, look, I am a PhD candidate and my idea is this. I am interested to work on this topic, but due to my educational background, which throughout my graduation till my PhD is being just a one single lens, that is the political science, and I feel that if I will enter into the field, so certainly I will miss some parts of the very phenomena, and because I will not have a vocabulary for that, and I feel that if I'll get into the IIHS program, I'll get that vocabulary and it will certainly help me into my PhD at the later stage when I'll be writing. So this could be one reason you can cite. And third could be very well your lived experiences. Okay, maybe you are somebody who is from rural background, or I would say maybe you are a queer person, okay. So how you are feeling your identity, how you are negotiating with it, is it something you are feeling that it's very different when you enter into the urban? So it can be this also. And I just want to highlight this fact that these people are interested into what are the academic achievements you people have done, but more than that they are more interested into your unique stories, what you are bringing to them, why only urban is making you more interested. So they are more interested into knowing your lived experiences, maybe as a woman how you are negotiating that space, and how this experience is different when you go to some peri-urban area or maybe to the rural areas, okay. So this sort of trajectory, I would say, we have to look whenever we are trying to answer the first question. And the second, now I'm turning towards the second question, is that tell us about an experience from your internships, volunteer work, job, or a lived experience that made you interested in learning about and working in the urban. Okay, now they are more specifically going towards this thing, that is there any internship, is there any experience you have into this field? Okay, and this could be any formal experience, maybe you are associated with a organization which works for the slum dwellers, and maybe you are going and teaching the children of the laborers, or you are doing some sanitation work and you are contributing into it, or it can be even an activism. Okay, so some sort of this way you can just count as a experience you have, and you can just tell like, look, I am associated with Goonj, I am associated with this organization which work, or I am associated with Basti Suraksha Manch and I have been doing this work, and I feel that now I am a ready person, and it will be better for me if my lived experience get bridged through the theoretical frameworks which I will get through this rigorous academic training at the IIHS. Okay, so this could be the one way of writing it, okay. And again I'm saying that it's not mandatory to have an volunteer work or the internship, because in my case I never did any internship or a volunteering work. Simply what I wrote in the 200 words, this second part of the question, was my lived experiences, because I have been living in an unauthorized colony, and I have always felt that how these colonies are always left to survive on their own, and very basic difficulties people face in anywhere of these societies is basically about access to the very minimum services such as water. So my answer was in that way. So It could be your personal story, it could be your volunteer work, it could be your internship, whatever you feel like. But the only suggestion, again and again, maybe I'm reiterating it, is that you just have to tell them, you just have to be very honest, and you just have to tell them what is there in your mind which is bothering you, or you are not able to do it, or you are not able to grasp it, and that's how you want to be here. Okay, and the third question is basically related about the statements. Okay, and it's written that in responding you can choose to agree, partially disagree with the statements. Please explain your position to support it. There is no right or wrong in answer. Feel free to use image, drawing, sketch as a part of your answer if you wish. Okay, so here I would just like to mention that you people should just give more, what I would say, that uh, attention towards this latter part of this question, is that feel free to use an image and drawing or a sketch as a part of your answer. As I have just told you that these people are very, I would literally say cool. They are very uh, accepting, very accommodating. Okay, so they are not only after people who can just write, because usually whenever we think that we are doing something research, so that has to be in a very written format only. No, this is not the case. They have given you very liberty that you can even use an image, you can draw, you can sketch. Because suppose if I have this habit of writing poems about urban or something which bothers me, so I can very well write it in a poem way. Or even if I have a more interest in portraying something, so I can just portray a scene, then I can describe like how this is associated with something which I am more interested into. Okay, so this is the explanation of this question. So now we have to just look at to these different statements. And if you will go by these 4 to 5 statements, which is basically nothing but the kind of curriculum UFP is uh, into, it's this only. Like, they are working in the environmental side, they're working with the social protection, they are working with social identity. So it's just a crux, and out of that crux they have made 5 statements. And suppose you are a person who is more interested into policy, so certainly I can see here that you may like to answer the third question, which is asking, should urban areas introduce employment guarantees for youth? So this is basically related to the caste, gender, religion, and discrimination. So whatever makes you happy or hello, am I audible? Hello, hello, am I audible? We lost connection, I guess.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, you're audible. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry for this glitch. Yeah. So this fifth question is very well for the people who are more interested into theory of like identity, religion, caste, and gender. And if I recall about my experience of writing this answer, was totally related with this fifth question. So I wrote in my application this fifth question, and this fifth question I wrote in a very personalized form. Like, suppose, look, I am a Sikh woman, I carry this identity of a Sikh woman, and I wrote how my father migrated to a city called Delhi from Punjab, and then how he negotiated with his identity, and how it was to be connection. Hello. I'm really sorry for this. I don't know why it's just doing this. Okay. So then I wrote this from my personal experience. Okay. So this is a very basic understanding what I feel, that while we are answering these question or the statements, that's how these are the certain things we have to keep in mind. And again what I will try to uh, tell people through this medium is that you just have to write very personalized essays, very detailed essays, where they can talk to the reader and they can get a sense of your life and what are the questions. And one point more which I think I forgot to mention is that there is a other way also of explaining these questions. Maybe it's not always have to have certain ideas when we are applying for certain places. Maybe it's some place where you have never been to or you have never studied. Like you can even say that, look, I have never been introduced or dealt with the ideas of urban, and this could be a very well reason for you to not knowing this aspect, so that you want to come here. Okay, so this can also be a way to answer your this thing. And where is Ilaya? Hello. I think okay. So I think he is now, he exit. Okay. So the second part of this document was a sample of work. So in the sample of work, what we have to do is that they will ask about, like, it's written there, please attach one sample of academic or professional work that best describes your capabilities and interests. The sample of work may take any form: text, plans, portfolios, audio files, visual media, writing for the media. Preferably, the sample of work should be your individual effort. Okay. So first we'll have to understand like what this statement is saying. So what we can see that again these people are very cool, very generous, that they're not saying that the sample of work has to have a any just a written format only. No, it can very well be a plan, a portfolio, or maybe a map. Like suppose if you are an architect, suppose you are going to draw something, you are going to plan something, so it will be in a some sort of a picture. Okay. So here I would say that usually people get stuck into this part, and they take it very, they get very nervous in this part, like what we should do it, how we should paste, and what should be the thing. So I would suggest that don't take much pressure on it. But like suppose what I pasted in my sample of work is was related to my master's assignments, the master's term papers which I wrote, because I felt that whatever I am doing right now in my PhD was culmination of my various research papers I wrote during my master's. So what I did is that I just compiled 4 to 5 my research papers or the term papers I did during my master's into a PDF, and then there will be a section which will be just saying that you just have to tell what is your part of it and how and when you did this. Okay. And as I have already mentioned that if you write something, if you like to write poems about something, if you like to draw something, so you can even draw a sketch or you can just write a poem about it, even if you are into some sort of theaters. Okay, so you can just upload 4 to 5 minutes of maybe some theatrical performance you have, but keep in mind that it should be related to the dynamics of the urban. It should be in a way around to the themes what these people are asking in these applications. Okay, and then the very important part what I feel that people usually misses it is that the third part, which is the additional information. Okay, and in that additional information what I would suggest is that, look, what you have seen through this document is that these people are giving you very very less space to describe yourself, and I'm telling you, once you'll start writing, you'll find it is very difficult to write in a very limited space that is just 100 word, 200 word, and 300 word. So this thick writing is very difficult when you have to present your case so that they can get you into that any sort of program or any institution. Okay, so for my suggestion, if I would give you, is that you should add whatever information you people feel that you are missing out in the earlier space. So you have to write it into this up to 200 words. Okay, and that is what I did. And what I wrote, if I will share my experience, it was related to more sort of my assertion, like what kind of a community I want to work for, what is my larger life goals, what are my ambitions, why I want to be there into their cohort. So this is a certain sort of, I would say, the holistic overview of this application. And I would say, just try to be as much as honest, as much as personalized while you are answering these questions. It would be more better. And again I'm saying that before just submitting your form in a very last moment, try to make a word file, just copy paste these question and try to just first draft organic draft and then edit it, because these are some questions which one should literally think through the writing while you are typing, and that's how it should be submitted, because these are not something which you can do in a very last minute. Okay, and again, to get a more better sense of what kind of a work they are doing, it's very much suggestive that you should visit the official website of IHS, you should visit their YouTube channel, you should visit their Instagram. And I would also like to tell you that, like, now the applications are open, so these people are on a very regular basis, they are organizing different talks where they are introducing themselves and the kind of work they are doing. And there you can see these people, these faculties who are going to teach you there, who are going to mentor you. So you can even ask them questions there. And I just visited before this lecture the YouTube website. So I found that they are uploading their sessions on their recorded sessions on YouTube also. So in case if you people have missed them, you can just go back to that YouTube and you just can have a look at them and you can just get a sense, so that while you are just answering your questions, it should not be just floating in the air. So it should be something which they can get to know, like seriously whatever you people are trying to answer, like you know them, you are not just writing out of the blue. Okay, you should just know them. And again, one more thing I just want to add is that the first question in which they have told you about which part of the UFP you like. So here you can have a look at the curriculum, the kind of skills or the papers they will provide you. So you can just mention, like, look, this is the specific skill I am more interested into. Like you can just say that, look, this is the GIS, geospatial tool, which I think I don't know till now, but if I will get into, so I will get a very fine idea of this tool and I can use that into my further research and my thesis will be more refined. So this is what I have to say about this thing. So I think I will stop now. So if there is any question, you people can ask me now.
Hi, may I go with my questions?
Yes, please go.
Hello.
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So, just a short brief about myself that I am not related to humanities so far, and I've been working as a data engineer for like 4 years, and I had a very much of technical background earlier also. So I just wanted to explore this as a career, as a full time, because I have skills of technology and other things, and also I come from a marginalized identity. So I have few things which are there in my mind, but I'm still confused. Should I go for this particular program or not? Because I'm currently working, and the course or the institute is saying that you have to be not working anymore. Like, you can't work anywhere else. And though I'm working remotely, I have a full time remote job. So that's a basic thing. And my area of interest is about the Dalits and Adivasis of the rural parts, because I come from rural parts of uh, Gondia district, which is in Nagpur, which is in Maharashtra. And I've seen many of the Dalits and Adivasis and their day-to-day lives styles. So I just wanted to need some inputs on this particular thing. That what what could be the possible thing that I could proceed for. So
Yeah, yeah. So to answer your question is that, like, in my cohort also, we had so many people who had this technical backgrounds. We had so many people who were from economic background, and they were very well doing their jobs, and so many people left their jobs for this program. So I guess this is a very nice place to be, because the kind of skills we are going to learn here, I personally feel we will definitely get out of this place with a very fine level of interdisciplinarity, which we call, and that is the major idea behind this fellowship program is. And the second part of your question, which is related to the fees, then I would tell you that you must have also read that it's a need based scholarship. Okay, so there are very ample amount of opportunities where you can ask about the scholarships, but the scholarship things will come at the later stage of this application. Like, so many people in my cohort were those who were not paying any fees, but even they are getting scholarships and the stipends. So for that, the first part of this thing is that first you'll have to write your essays, and your essays should be of that so-called quality, so that you can get a interview call. And if you can get through this interview and you get this final selection, then they ask you about to present your case, like why you want a fee waiver, and why you need a scholarship, and why you need stipends. And I'm telling you, for that you have to just show some documents, and you have to just present your case. And there are so many people who will get these scholarships, and IHS is very much committed that nobody will not just leave this opportunity just because he or she doesn't have that capacity to give these fees. So they are very much into this. They will make sure that you are joining that program, and they will provide you whatever type and whatever extent they can on the basis of your documents and the case you will present to them. But that is going to be the last part. It will be very at the later stage of it. After you get into, after everything is sorted, it's the last part of the application. And I would just suggest that right now we should not think about this uh, what we say, this application fee or whatever it is. We should not think about it, because these things will come up at very last stage. Right now we should just focus on how we can get our interview calls, and then how we can get into the a final list of the cohort. And when you are saying that you are doing work remotely and you are also coming from a marginalized background, so there are so many people, even I am also a first generation learner, so there are so many people like us who are there, and certainly it will build a solidarity among people who share the same shared histories. And at the end of the day, what I feel that it is going to be your call. And yeah, they will not allow you to work simultaneously when you are into this cohort, because this is going to be a very rigorous thing, very rigorous course, 7 month plus 2 months. It's not something where you'll get a space of mind that you can indulge into some other things. For that you have to give your proper attention and your time into this only. And for that they are totally into that. We have to leave whatever job we are doing, and we have to be a full time this urban fellow if we are into this program.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I also have a question. Am I audible?
Yeah, say, go
Okay,
ahead.
ma'am. When I will just ask you, like, could you please provide your mail ID or something so that when while we are finished with our essay or like writing, we can show to you just like for check.
Your
Is
voice
that
is
possible?
there is echo in your voice. Okay, it's not that clear. Will you just repeat it?
Ma'am, I type. I guess.
By the time if somebody else has a question, they can ask.
One more question. It's just an add-on question. That what could be the possible prospects after this program, after completion of this program? Because I have very less idea about how could I take my career along with my technical skills and along with this humanity skills uh, combinedly together. So specifically for my case, could you please suggest something where I can proceed, or like where I can find prospects combinedly? Thanks.
Yeah, so like I have just mentioned about the last phase of this fellowship program, which is about like there are three routes you can take. Either you can go with the internships, or you can do the life projects or the life work, which IHS is doing and the faculty is indulged into. And third, you can take your own independent projects. So, if you are saying that what are the possibilities after doing this, is it's a very obvious question. Everyone will have this question at one point of time in their mind. So I have to tell you that what happened. I am also in the last leg of this fellowship. So what I have seen that there are so many people from my cohort who were appearing for the internship, and during the interviews, their interview went so well that these people were offering them permanent jobs into the organizations. And you can see that JPAL, then even the Ministry of Finance, these are some sort of organization which comes and you people have to give interviews. So it's not that it's not they are not promising that you will get inducted into a job. It's not that certainly you will have that, but yeah, what I have seen that there are a very fair amount of chances that while you are appearing for your internships interview, so that these people will may offer you that a full-time work is possible with them. And there are so many people who gave their interviews as a interns, but they were so well that they got their jobs into these organizations. And second option is a second possibility which I can see is that there are a lot of think tanks, and the network and the prestige of IHS is so much that it's not just India, it's just globally renowned, that there are so many possibilities that you can work with. Even people like I have a friend who is an economist, and now he's doing work with artery. And you can see the combination. He is now working with an organization who work with ecology. So there are very fair chances. And if you are more interested into research, so there is very well chances that you will get these methodological tools so handy. You will learn when you will get out of this place, that it will make for you possible that you can apply for your PhDs, and it will give you more clarity on it. So that is what I have to say about your question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it answers my questions.
Nita Sangwan is saying, could you please provide your email ID? So once we are done with our essay writing, could you please check it for feedback? Yeah, for that, it's like I am the only person here, so whatever will be in my capacity to give comments, because the deadline is also reaching. We are very late, I would say that, in this session. It's already 12, and till now 15th is the last date, so we have very less time. But I am expecting that there will be a extension in the application, but still we should not uh, think about that. We should, if we are interested, we should write it now, and we should try to do it. So as Ilaya has suggested that this email ID you can write, and I will try my best, and I will give your essays to my fellow cohort, and if we are able to get feedback on them, then I will surely be happy to comment on your writings, and then you can just submit maybe. Any other question?
Yeah,
Anything?
hi Sinu. I have a question related to
Yeah.
fellowship amount or the work burden. Like, is it both go together? Like, for example, if I'm under a rigorous fellowship, and what will be the fellowship support I financially receive from IIHS Bangalore, and would it be worth it?
Yeah, so it's a look, so it is first we'll have to get into this, that it's not a UGC recognized whatever you can say degree or a curriculum, so it's an independent thing. Okay, so they have their own existence, because the kind of interdisciplinarity and the kind of stuff they are doing, it's usually falls outside what we usually find in the conventional institutions. Okay, and when you are talking about the amount of the fellowship, okay, so it's a blend of both. It's a teaching also, it's action based also, then it's research also. So certainly you will not get the amount directly for your own survival, but they will make sure each of your expenses are covered. Like, they will pay for your rents, they will provide you accommodation, they will provide you food, they will take care of your transportation from your accommodation to the campus. You will be going in their shuttle services, and in the curriculum there is exposure visits also, and for that also they will be paying everything. And it's also written in their web page that it's a need based scholarship, so you can just present your case that, look, I have some constraints in paying this fees. For that, there is an amount of stipend which usually they say, and that stipend is for 10,000. But I'm telling you that whatever amount they are going to spend on you is very much higher than the stipend you will get. And once you are getting into this program, in this fellowship, it's not going to be something where you'll not be able to survive, because if you are getting scholarship, so everything is covered into it. But even more, you will be getting stipend per month for that. And for the rest of the 2 months, it will be dependent on the organization you are working with. And for that also, IHS is very clear that they will set a minimum bar, that this is the minimum amount which has to be given to the fellow, even if the organization is not paying. So to make everyone at the same place, they will be paying on the behalf of the organization, and that is what it is.
Yeah, thank you, Simon.
Question from Ishita again, that the academic writing should also be related to urban, or it could be any ethnographic piece or term paper. Okay, so like my experience of this application can be a little bit different than people who are applying through their masters or btech or mtech, whatever it is, because I was already a phd candidate at that point of time. But what I feel is that it should not be something very different. It should be something which you are writing on. Like suppose you are writing for these three questions. Okay, so whatever, what makes an application good application is that there should be a weaving, there should be a flow in your answer. First answer should talk with the second answer, and second answer should talk with the third answer, and same goes with that. Your sample of work should not also be something which is just thrown out of the blue, which is not getting any coordination with your earlier three answers. So in that prospects you have to think. And certainly it can be an ethnographic piece also, but again and again what matters is that whatever you are writing in above three question has to have some similarities with the sample of work you are going to do and you are going to present or submit there. Because what I wrote is that it was related to the citizenships right, then shame and dalits, and because whatever I wrote in my application was also related to them. So yeah, it can be an ethnographic piece also. And certainly there should be an element of urban in it. Not even if you are not able to find it directly, then you have to try to get some correlation with it. You have to mend it in a certain way that it suits to the their larger framework, whatever these people are doing, the institution is dealing. Yeah, that is the way I will answer this question.
Yeah, thank you, Simran. I'll just stop the live, and then if they are interested, we can have an informal conversation as well.